I can tell you one thing, when a lead comes in from Google, they're ready to sell. I've tried Facebook before, and you're like putting yourself in front of them, and then maybe they're interested in selling here and there. It takes a little longer. But Google, that's why when they call, they either call or they email me. I pick up right away, right away. And then if for some reason I pick up and they're not there, I'll leave a message, I'll text them, I'll email them, and I'll do it like for 3 or 4 days straight because I want them. Once I speak with them, and then I'm, more or less, and that's my goal, is to contact them right away.
Hey friends, welcome back to the Carrot Cast podcast. I'm your host, Brady Winder, and I have my new friends today with me, Chris and Russo. How you guys doing?
Good. And yourself?
I'm doing good. Thank you. This is going to be a really good conversation. It's a little bit unique because it's Success Story Month at Carrot. We're going over the different ways people are using Carrot to be successful. We're talking to people that are consistently generating leads and closing deals with SEO and with Carrot. And Chris and Rosangela are virtual wholesaling, but what's interesting is that they're virtual wholesaling in the market that they live in. And so we'll get into that and why and how they are doing that. But yeah, we're going to go over that, and we're going to go over what's working for them marketing wise with SEO, with direct mail, with TV, the different things that they're doing, and their team structure, how they're using VAs, all of that. So tune in. It's going to be good. And if you want to catch some of our other content or other success stories, go to carrot.com/success. And one more thing, Carrot Summit. Carrot Summit is coming up July 12th. So go to carrotsummit.com, check it out. It's going to be amazing. We just announced that. We would love to see you there. Totally free event. So before we hopped on this podcast, Chris and Rosangela, y'all were telling me about one of the first deals you closed with Carrot. Would you mind sharing that little story with me, the 60-40 deal?
Sure. She found us on Google, and I always ask, well, how did you hear of us? And she said, oh, Google. And I go, why did you pick us? I always ask, what keywords did you put in? She gave me all that information. She called me, and I asked her information about the property. And then what happens is I said, okay, I'll get back to you with an offer. And then I got back to with the offer, and I called her like 3 or 4 or 5 times. I always like to call them back a few times because in this way I establish a relationship with them. I become their friends. And then she decided, you know what, Chris, based on your voice, you sound transparent and it looks like I can deal with you. I said, oh, great. And so what I did is I sent her a contract, and it was through email, and she sent it over. I think she had a brother and a sister, and they all looked it over. They agreed. She sent it back, and I started working on it. And that's how I, started with her. And that one there ended up making like, I think, $64,000. And by the way, I do everything virtual. I didn't see the seller. I didn't see the buyer. About a week afterwards, once I signed her up, she goes, Chris, by the way, we have another house. We want to sell. I said, sure, I'll buy as many houses as possible. So she sent me to her other brother who was working on that house. And that one we closed, and we made like 40 something thousand. So between both of them, I think it was like $102,000. And
That's
then
awesome.
what happened? I didn't see the seller. I didn't see the buyer. And I felt really good. And so what I did is I ordered lunch for the title company. I said, listen, since I made 102,000, like it closed the same time, a couple of days apart, but within a week, since I made 102,000, I'm buying everyone lunch. So everybody was happy. And that was the
That's
story
awesome.
with that one. And she just said, no, I think we had a 5-star rating. And then she went into my website and she saw my face, my wife's face, my family. And we have, in our website, it was, it's a lot of credibility involved. So, and she felt comfortable with me. And then it goes, do you need to see the property? No, basically just tell me about the property. So, how old I always ask, how old is the roof, the AC? Those are the big ticket items, and the condition of the property. And so, yeah, that's fine. I gave her my offer. It was accepted. And that was it. So I do everything virtual. And I used to like drive to their property, but between the traffic, I can only do maybe like two properties in a day. And with virtual, I'm able to close more properties. So I'm really comfortable. I know a lot of people are very uncomfortable with virtual, but I'm very comfortable and it works for me. So, and I'm able to do more deals, and that's the main thing.
And how long after, like, for context, how long was this deal after you guys started doing SEO?
Was okay. We start with Carrot was September. We set up everything. It was in December. We start working really hard, and from January on, and then we have like a routine. How you do like every day we do something. Every day we post something, and every day we work in the blogging, and we have a routine in the office. Me and my VAs. And everyone is responsible for some areas. And then we use in the night to watching videos and learn more about what we're doing.
Yeah.
And that this lead the specific was in December. We closed just before Christmas.
Which is wild. I ask that because I want people to hear, like, you need to have the context. SEO is a long-term strategy, something you need to put in the work for, or, pay someone else to put in the work for. But I think it's so cool to share that, because you're usually expecting the results of like 3 to 6 months, the fruit of all that work you've been putting in. But it's, we also get people closing deals off the bat, like launching a carrot site out of the box. And so I love those stories.
I can tell you one thing: when a lead comes in from Google, they're ready to sell. I've tried Facebook before, and you're like putting yourself in front of them, and then maybe they're interested in selling here and there. It takes a little longer. But Google, that's why when they call, they either call or they email me. I pick up right away. And then if for some reason I pick up and they're not there, I'll leave a message, I'll text them, I'll email them, and I'll do it like for 3 or 4 days straight, because I want them. Once I speak with them, and then I'm, more or less, and that's my goal, is to contact them right away, because I know they're calling 2 or 3 other people, but I know they're ready to sell. They're hot. That's what I like about those leads.
Well, you had mentioned that last time we talked before we were recording on the podcast that, you guys are closing about 3 to 4 deals a month, but those are, they're bigger spreads than some of the other marketing methods you guys have been doing. Like they're big deals.
Yes.
If you want to talk about the numbers, last month we closed 89,000, and actually we closed one yesterday for 53, and this month we have we expect to receive 103.
Sheesh. That's a good month.
What's funny? Last week we closed them for 7,500, which is a lot of money. It's great. I don't mind doing like 5 of those a month. But to me, it's like, oh, that was a small one. After that, it wasn't 52, it was 57.
Oh, 57.
Actually, 57,550. Right. And then we're closing one on, I think, the next couple of days for 27, and another one for 10. So,
but one thing is, okay, because every time, okay, what we do, for example, our YouTube, I believe, I'm not marketing. I'm just a wife and, mom. But I believe is that people need to see us. And then we have here in the office, Chris needs to do some videos per week. Every time we close, we make a video. This one, he's make only 7,500. He don't want to do a video for this one. I said, why not? Because
she's always on me. Oh, Chris, another video. And what do we do for videos? We just think of people calling in. Deals we're closing, deals we're about to close, new deals coming in. So I talk about that. So it's easy to do videos. And they're like a minute, 2 minutes?
Yes. One thing is we do here is, okay, everything happened here in the office. Actually, we work from home. But everything happened here between us is as juice for SEO. Means when somebody call us for the information, probably somebody else has the same problem. And, the more we're talking about what we do, and we put this in as SEO in videos, or even we're doing a blogging now with the videos. And I know it's not perfect because my English is not perfect, but I try to keep out what we do, because I believe the more we talk what we do, the more the people can find us, because I say Chris is 30 years buying, selling houses, and Chris knows a lot about probate. Even we have investors where they cannot close because, probate is really, Chris has a word is all his leads, all his deals has hairs. It doesn't have any lead. It's like, actually
something.
We have one very good one, was like really smooth, but usually it's really, it's very hard. And these people usually they call us. Unfortunately, they are it's not like really, sometimes they have problems, sometimes they need somebody to listen. And,
Mhm.
usually they're selling a problem.
Yeah.
And Chris is really good with patient with these people and talk and always returning the call at the same time.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, they call me at night, weekends. I'll answer it, and I'll pick up right away. On text, I'll text right back, so they feel confidence.
yeah, one
That's
thing I
good.
don't like when
Yeah.
he start calling like 11 o'clock in the night is a lady. Oh,
Yeah,
that's not nice.
On your way to
right.
bed. Well,
Yeah.
I wanna talk about some of the specific things y'all are doing. Like you mentioned the videos and getting video reviews while being virtual. So I wanna dig into some of that. But, real quick, um, tell me, tell me about your team structure, because y'all mentioned you have VAs. I'd love to know what specifically you have VAs doing so that people can understand. We can paint the full picture for what the business looks like,
Right.
and then kind of what the wholesaling, or sorry, what the virtual wholesaling part looked like and your journey in
Yeah,
Brazil.
sure. Yes, yes, it's true. All
Yeah.
right. We like a long time ago, we used to have 10 people making calls. We have like a
Mm,
small office in Philippines, and we
mhm,
have all these people making call for us. But then, with all the things, then we don't do this anymore. We stopped this like 4 or 5 years ago. And right now, what I have three VAs. One VA specific work with me, SEO, and he's the one like I have these crazy ideas, and
mm,
he's keeping up with the routines, and that's what he does. And then I have one is like a shadow of Chris, where he's always helping Chris with the follow-ups and getting the price for the property. And I have another one. What she does do follow up for between cold and warm leads,
mm.
because even though we don't cold call anymore, we have like 300,000 people in our data, where
Wow.
actually we just sign up for investor fees because it's too many leads, and it's kind of hard to keep everything in the same place because we use a bunch of tools. Mojo dialer, we have a Testly, we have what else, a constant contact. Put all this together, gmail is it's too
Mm,
much. And then we sign up for investor fees. We had a meeting with Carlos, and I used to use investor fees many years ago, but I understand now it's much different, it's much more close and much easier to use. And we just sign up to get because Chris does a lot. Actually, we work many hours per day. We go to
mm.
the basketball game, we are in the phone, we have a
Yeah.
computer, we always working.
Yeah, I
And
believe 80% of my business is in the follow up. So
Yeah.
follow up is very important. Every once in a while, someone will call, you get them right away, but majority of it, it's in the follow up, and you need a good follow up system. And we had
Yeah.
Mojo, which is more of a dialer than a CRM, so that's why we switched to Investor Fuse, because with all these leads coming in, so I need to text them, I need to email them, I need to mail them. So I want to be in front of them. So unless they say, Chris, stop bothering me, I'll take them off the list. If not, I'll just keep doing it, but nicely. So that
Mm,
helps a lot.
yes, one thing is very important. When we decide to go back to Carrot, when Chris, because we had somebody else taking care of our SEO. He did like for 2 years. He was trying hard. I believe that, but was like one lead here, one lead over there. And after a while, it was costing money because no leads.
mm.
And then last year, me and Chris, because we tried to, talking about everything. And then, okay, let's go to try do ourselves. I said, okay, how are we going to do that? And then we start looking who can help us. We sign up with Gerald.
Gerald Norden of SEO Real Estate Investors. What happened is we had the person, like I'm sure everybody knows someone that'll do it for you. They'll pay him a couple $100. But what happened is he does well, and then all of a sudden he slacks off. And then he
Mm.
does well, he slacks off. So then we went with Gerald, and what he does, he actually gives you the blueprint and how to build your SEO, which is
Mm.
great. So you actually know what's doing. When you hire someone, paying them a couple $100 a month, he's doing everything for you. So if he leaves or something happens to him, or if he doesn't do a good job, you're back to square one. It's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So with
Yeah.
Gerald, he gives you the blueprint, how to do it, like building a house from the ground floor up. And that's why we like that.
Yes,
Right,
with
which
the
is important for y'all, because I can see y'all really, you guys are marketers at heart. You wanna understand the fundamentals of what you're doing as opposed to, like, just throwing money, have someone else do it, which I think
Correct.
for SEO is really the sweet spot. You can go total DIY or you can go, total paid, but if you can understand it and, know how to manage it, know how to implement it, but then also, pay for the training, but have a VA like yourself where you're guiding the VA, you're telling them what to do. I think that's just like the best bang for your buck.
Exactly. And the other thing is, you know me, I mean, always, even though sometimes it's a little bit, but I try to be, the meat is important. I think I watch most of the carrot videos. You know, I watch you all the time because sometimes, like, for example, we have a routine for be post every day in Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media. But I got this from one of the videos I watched from you guys to see how it's important we be there all the time, because if you not be there today, somebody else gonna be in front of
Right.
you. Yes, and
Yeah.
that, yes, the other, trying to learn a little bit about how work in blogging, land page, and I know my
Keywords.
keywords, and I know my website is not perfect. I know that because it's a lot to improve. I never did college. I'm doing everything to watching videos and getting ideas, but
Yeah.
it's very important educate yourself, because is even though we not pay somebody else, it's money you investing, because you have
Yeah.
the VA, you have all the system behind of the
Right.
scenes to make this work.
Well, I appreciate it's really cool to hear, somebody like actually doing all the things we teach, because it's like you can learn it all, but to implement it is another thing.
Yes.
Um, so I want to, in a second, we'll dive into like the different marketing channels you guys are doing. So we talked about SEO. I want to dive into, the TV and the probate mailers y'all mentioned. But one other thing real quick, I was going to ask you is there anything else specific you're doing to like, I was going to say build credibility, for virtual wholesaling, but you're doing the videos. Is there like have any tricks to get these deals to close when they're all virtual? And you're doing ones in your own market where like you and the seller both know you're there in the market, but you're not going out to the properties. How do you get that trust?
How? But just being honest, listen, and just speak with them and find out what their pain is. Basically, when they call in, if they call in, I'll ask them, what the address of the property. And a lot of time you go on site, they don't really have the true, like, how many bedrooms and baths. So I need to know that. That's important. And then ask them, it's very simple. I don't like, I know there's people, they have like 12 questions, 13, 14. I'm very simple. I just go, what's the address of the property? How many bedrooms and baths? And the condition of the property. And basically the big ticket items are like the roof and the central air. So how old is the roof? If I know it's 15, 20 years old, there's no way they're going to list it with a realtor, go retail. So they need to replace the roof. Right there, they have to go with investors. So I said, why are you going to go with a realtor, pay 6 or 7% commission, and then end up selling it to an investor? So right there, I know I can do that. And then and I just ask them about the questions, about the property. And that's it, very simple. I don't even ask them about the mortgage or anything. Just, what repairs needed, and that's it. And I don't need to go into the detail. I'm very quick and fast. And then basically, then I do my comps. I get back to them. I give them an offer. And then if they like it, fine. Or they might negotiate a little bit. Sure. Hey, listen, if I'm not going to make as much on this one, that's fine. I'll give them what they need. And that's it. And then I send them the contract via email, a DocuSign, or if they're an older person that they don't have email, everyone has email now, I'll send a UPS the next day. And and they sign it, they send it back. And then my little trick, what I do is I said, can you do me a favor? Can you take pictures of the outside and the inside of the property for me so I can get a head start before I send my inspector out there? And I want the front, the two sides, the back, and every room on the inside, the AC unit inside, the electrical panel, and the water heater. Sure, I could do that. For some reason, they don't. I have this company called Velocity BPO. They're nationwide. I think for what, $70 or $50?
Yeah, sometimes
They'll take a video, pictures. That helps a lot because
That's
all
cheap.
the cash buyers ask for pictures, and
Yeah.
sometimes they'll do a sight unseen. So we're buying property sight unseen, which is great also. So those are all the little tricks I do.
I never would have thought to ask the seller to have to have the seller
They're
do the
more than
photos.
happy to do it. More than
I
happy.
love your answer because what I was asking, what are you doing? And you're telling me, well, here's what I'm not doing. I'm not asking the regimen, like 13 questions that everybody goes through. I'm not staring at a sheet, and it's
Right.
much
They don't
more of
have
a
time, no
feeling.
patience. They want
Yeah.
to get right to it, right to it.
One thing is very important. I think that's what make Chris different than the other people. That anybody call is most these people. they're really passing a hard time. They're really more, sometimes they need somebody to listen. Sometimes,
Mm.
we have a lady, she even did a testimony for us. When I heard, it's true. How much you making this one with Mrs.
Cooper.
Cooper?
Yeah, that was.
He didn't make any money.
Yeah, that was like 5 months. It was just one headache after another. We finally closed it. And what I do, this is another thing I discovered. What I do is like at the closing, I'm having the title company, which have a good relationship with them. So number one, it's always good to have a good title company behind you.
It's the best.
Yeah, and we use Independence Title out of Fort Lauderdale. They deal with investor. You have to be investor friendly. You have to work with an investor friendly title company.
Doing.
So I have them take a video. They use their, because they're not computer literate or whatever. So the title company girl videotapes her for 1 minute and she talks about me, and then they send it to me. And then it's a great video. It works like a charm. It's perfect.
I love that.
So the girl's actually videotaping her talking about me. And after the closing.
Yeah, this lady, she has so many issues, and she has dogs, and she's a kind of old lady. Is nobody gonna do what? Even it wasn't even for money, because Chris, we didn't make like 2,000.
Yeah, it was no, it was 9,000, and ended up having a dog at the end. The buyer wanted the dog out. I said, okay, here's $200 for some guy to take the dog out. Then she needed a ride to the title company. I paid her $50. Then she calls, hey, Chris, aren't you going to pay for a return trip back? Oh, okay, whatever. Just and so I'll do whatever it takes just to get it.
And she was alone. She has grown.
She's very happy now.
Yeah, she has grown kids, and actually, you're still calling her to see how she's doing.
What we do is every holiday we send them, Happy Memorial Day, Happy Labor Day, 4th of July, Christmas, just to be in contact with them. And we always ask, do you have any other properties, or if you know of anyone looking to sell?
This was very interesting. Last year we sent was a Thanksgiving. We had this lead was canceled. The lady left because it was very hard to sell the house, because the house was just a shell, like just the walls, and we was very complicated because she had so many issues with the title, with the the code violation. We couldn't sell. And then she kind of, she didn't like too much, because of what's happened. And then we sent a Thanksgiving for her. She called us back and we closed with her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes,
I love how you're doing, even after the fact, after you close the deal, you're still keeping in touch. And I mean, there is strategy to it, but it just shows that personal touch and probably helps a lot with the word of mouth too. That's really cool that you guys do that.
We get a bunch of leads like this. The people sell and, give for somebody.
It's free leads. It's free leads. Those are the best kind of leads.
So we talked about how you're doing it virtually. We talked about how you're building credibility. I love the simplistic, just like friendly attitude and nature you bring to that. We talked about SEO, getting big, fat, juicy SEO deals. And then what other marketing are y'all doing? You mentioned you're doing TV, right? And then driving TV to the website? Or
driving it to the website, correct. We even have a QR code on our TV commercial. So we have our phone number, which is like a simple number, like 954-209-3000. So I came up with it. The 2 comes before the 3, and the 3000 easy for them to remember. Then it has our site, 123's web address, 123soulcash.com, and then a QR code. So there's, they're going to have to call us between all the 3 different options.
Yeah. And so this is just a big fat QR code on the screen, and it's working. I mean, I was looking before we went on the podcast, I was looking at y'all's Carrot site in the back end. You're getting, consistent leads from the commercials. How long have y'all been doing that for?
TV, more than a year.
I think a year and a half.
Yeah.
A year. And did you guys go DIY, or you'd find a TV agency to do it?
We do everything ourselves.
Well, we thought of that, and then we said, let's go to the TV station, and we went direct, and it's been working for us.
We have some system behind us to help us. We pay outside to drive us, but we do everything ourselves.
Yes,
that's awesome. That's really cool.
So as you can see, we do everything right, the SEO, the TV.
That's why you don't sleep.
We don't have like a third person.
Right. Well, you've been at it for a while. I don't think we mentioned this in the beginning, but you've been investing for 30 years, you said?
Correct. Back in the day, I was a mortgage broker. I did the BC loans, and then I bought and sold here and there, and I was a real estate broker, but I always bought and sold in wholesale. But I wholesale 100%. I don't rehab or I don't do anything.
Zero.
I wholesale everything.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Nice.
One of this time, we are living 11 years in Brazil. And because we have our kids and we raise our kids over there, I'm a Brazilian. Brazil can speak Portuguese.
Right. What happened in 2008? We had the economic crisis, and so what are we going to do? So
We have two babies.
my wife goes, what are we going? What are we going to do? And he goes, well, we're going to stay here or go to Brazil. So we went to Brazil, and so I was there 11 years, and then we started like a sunglass business, importing sunglasses, and that was okay. But it's very hard to open a business in another country. So then I went back to wholesaling, and I did everything virtual from Brazil.
Okay. And any complications with that, or it sounds
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's just as, oh yeah.
Well, they would say, when are you going to come see the property? I said, well, they didn't know here. I was using Magic Jack that had like a 954-305 area code for
I remember the
Miami.
infomercial for it. Yeah, I've seen on TV. I can picture it in the fast
The little
lane checkout
machine,
at Walmart.
yes.
Yeah, the Magic Jack.
We
Yeah.
still
Yes,
have.
the
we
Magic.
still
I still
have.
have it. I don't want to leave it, but yeah, I use Magic
We still
Jack.
pay in
They
Magic
would
Jack.
call me, and it's, I don't need to see the property. I can see it online. Just tell me information about your property, the condition, and that's fine. And sign the contract again. Email, UPS or DocuSign, and then they would sign it, send it back, and then I would blast it out to my cash buyers. They would go take a look at it, and then I would send a contract to them. So everything done by email.
When you are in Brazil, we had a very funny deal where Chris bought this house. The guy used to live in Bahamas, and he has this house for many years. Was a probate he got for, I think, was for his grandparents. We signed up the contract, and then we start sending buyers over there. But then the buyer said, "Chris, there's not a house here.
Yeah, there's no house.
Yeah, the house was in fire 2 years ago, and we couldn't check because
that's some of the issues of dealing virtual. But majority of the time, it works perfect.
Because what we do when this time we used to have the 10 VAs in Philippines, and usually they go Google Street and see any house was abandoned or any house like with the grass or something. We skip trace these people this time, but it was more than 5 years ago, 7 years ago. We used to do this also. We look in the area. Some of the house was like nobody's taking care. But usually now Google is much faster. But before, take 1 or 2 years to get Google Pass again and take a new pictures. That was the problem.
Yeah, I'm still trying. I just built a house, and I'm still trying to get Google to show that it's not just a hill with dirt on it. My house doesn't show up. They must not be driving around Roseburg, Oregon very much.
It's gonna take a while, but now Google is much faster.
Oh yeah.
There's another deal where we got this house, but one side is even number and the other side is odd number. And we got this deal, but I don't know what's happening. This address was opposite.
Interesting.
And then we put in the flyer the wrong house. Yeah. We had this house. We sent for the buyers. The buyer said, "Oh, listen." Then somebody knocking the door said, "No, it's not my house. It was the house in the front." And then you gotta fix the flyer with a new picture because it was the wrong house.
Majority of the time it works out.
Are y'all still driving for dollars, virtual, or I don't know, they call it clicking for dollars, virtual driving for dollars? Are you still doing that?
No, not anymore.
Yeah. No. It's all inbound right now.
Yes.
I want to talk about two specific things. I think we've pretty much covered, most of what I wanted to ask you all about. A couple of things on the experimentation side. So y'all are in Orlando, Florida, and you're doing deals in Southern Florida. You had mentioned some specific scenarios. You were cooking up some ideas on ways to reach people more specifically instead of just, hey, we buy houses. Anything you guys are trying out as far as like, you'd mentioned like floods or immigration?
Yes, it's true. Because what we do is we have some campaigns in what we do, Google. We look in what's happened in the area. With that, because, for example, we have a flooding in Broward, happened a month ago. From this time when just happened, as I told you, we have a control. That's something we I need to really get better. Is when something happen, for example, happened today, we're trying to make something for tomorrow. Because I control the how to say, the advertising, I can really target these people.
Yeah.
Because I know, for example, if you have a float, probably you're gonna look for, I don't know, a fan or something to help to clean the, or even roof in this
Yeah.
area, because
So she has a way of like, so there was a flooding a month ago in Broward. And in fact, we got a lead that I got to keep following up that she had flooding. They want to sell the property. So we decided, hey, let's hit that area where people, had flooding. So now we're trying to be creative to figure out how can we hit them to say, hey, we buy houses besides the normal way of direct mail. So you kind of like thought of something, how to hit them digitally.
Yes.
Right?
Because, for example, if now we have these, the immigration is getting, the people move out. And that's something we trying to work and to see,
if they want to sell their house.
Yes, because a lot of these people, they need to move out fast, and they need the money to move.
You mentioned reach them visually. What did you mean by that? Like a TV commercial,
okay.
a certain mailer?
We do mailing also, but what we do, we do YouTube, and that we put Chris in front of these people with this, I'm gonna say, this message. Exactly, for this kind of message. Okay. That's what we're trying to do right now.
So it'll be YouTube videos in the Broward area, in that area where the flooding happened.
Okay. I just have it here. Yeah, just happen to have it here. I have the script.
You got the script? I love that. I love that. And so
because because usually these people, they speak another language if they want to move out. We have in Spanish, and Chris can speak a little bit, and it's something we're trying to do because
we're experimenting.
Yes.
So I love that you guys are doing targeted, timely YouTube ads. So you're paying attention to what's going on in your markets, and you're saying, these are the events. How can we deliver like a tailored and timely message, record the video, and then get it into YouTube ads and serve that up to those markets? So I want to follow up on that later on in the future. Let me know how that's working out for you guys and how that goes. But I think it's cool y'all are experimenting with new marketing. Yeah. So I mean, shoot, we've covered a whole ton here. I mean, I could talk to you guys all day. I love talking marketing. I think it's been super valuable here, and all the things you guys are doing. Props to you guys for putting in the work and just putting your head down and doing the SEO and learning what we teach. I think it's amazing. So good job on what you guys are doing. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. It was really when we came back to we take from the people was doing for us, and our intention was, okay, how we start. If you don't start getting sitting and like putting together and learn how we put this together. I think most of the investors, some call us, say, how you do it? I said, first, go to the internet and listen Carrot, listen SEO with Jero, and like having educate yourself, because the more you learn, and the other thing is very important when you're doing your website, doing your history, your company, talking about what exactly you do, because when the people call Chris, is for sure exactly what the people see with the website. That's exactly what we are, and that's make the people very
and we give
confident.
value to them, and that's what Gerald teaches us. He's given value by the information in his website. That's why when people go there, they go, "Oh, this is interesting." So that's the main thing is giving value to the sellers and to that's the most
explain
important
exactly
thing.
What you are and what you do. And all these people, when they're called, they know, okay, I want to sell for a huge company.
Right, like an Open Door and these big companies, who knows who you're going to get? You're getting me. And when they get me and say, oh, by the way, I'm the guy on TV or whatever. Oh, really? Okay. So instant credibility.
I love that you mentioned that you're providing value. It's evergreen marketing 101. And sometimes marketers forget that. It's like you're there to provide value, not just explain what you do, like, help out the sellers.
Exactly.
I love that. Where can people find you if they wanted to connect with you, hit you up for advice, anything like that?
The easiest way is our website. It's very simple, 123soulcash.com. And, and if anybody wants to contact me, I'll be able to help them. If they have a deal, it's hard to close, a probate, whatever it is, give me a call and maybe I can help them. If you want, maybe I'll partner up with you, whatever you want to do. I'm willing to help people because I know if you help people, good things come back to you. So I'm a given person. So if you want to contact me, the easiest way is 123soulcash.com and contact me. I'll be able to help you out. whatever situation you have. And my wife also, she handles more of the SEO and I handle more of the acquisitions.
Okay. I love that. Well, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate y'all's hearts and just willing to share all these things you're doing and help people out in your market. I love the
Yes,
attitude.
we gotta work together. That's the thing. The more you work together, the more you learn, the more you can share, the more
It's exciting.
Yes, very excited.
And I'm working on new ideas with TV also, the digital, like, you have direct mail you send to a list, where I think I'm able to maybe instead of sending a direct mailer, maybe do it digitally, where, like, for example, I can hit a zip code and then my TV commercials will show up in that zip code, or a mailing list of probates or code violations. And so my commercials will show up on their streaming devices. So I'm working on that also. That's something new that I'm working on.
And the other thing is, like Chris does a lot, is a lot of these, even the new people, they get these leads from probate, because Chris is really good in probate. And they get this lead and, because the seller, with me, or somebody, because you got to understand, all these people, they're really stressed. They count with this money, most of the people. And, Chris, with, okay, let's go straight. Let's, talk really how you can resolve that. And,
Yeah, I'm good with probate. I have a good probate attorney that I work with. He can close fast, so I can call him anytime. I can email him. In fact, he works 7 days a week, and he'll give me the answer if I don't have it. I'll just tell the seller I don't have the answer, but I'll get back to you.
Yes, and we work really like our title company is the best.
Yeah, the title, Independence Title, they're great. They work with, that's important. If you're in the investing business, you need a title company that works with investors. We do assignments, double closings, novations, whatever it is. So they're very experienced, and they deal with, they close they close 50, 70, I think 100 deals a month, and they've seen the situations. So I'm very confident they deal with my sellers. And
yes,
if
Kevin,
there's an issue,
Chris.
They'll tell me, hey, Chris, what do we do? So you got to work with a great title company, a great probate attorney. That's very
great
important.
SEO company, great
SEO,
website.
Right.
Yes, because I'm always in the website over there asking help. How I do this? How I do that?
Yeah.
Right. And one thing, don't
don't
reinvent it. In other words, I have a philosophy: copy someone else. If they've been doing it a couple of years and it's working for them, copy them. Why are you going to spend money and time? So every time I go on the internet, I see Carrot all over the place. So you guys must be doing something right. Everyone knows you. So if that's the case, then go with Carrot. And because I scroll down to the bottom, and everything's sponsored or by Carrot. So that's how we came across you guys also. So that's what I do. If someone's working and they've been doing it for a couple of years, obviously it's working for them, do the same thing. It's very simple.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you saying that. For everybody listening, watching, we didn't pay them to say that. I promise.
No, not at all.
We use Carrot much, like 5 years ago. But I'm going to say, when we came back, it's completely different. Before it was like really Carrot.
Yeah, user-friendly, very easy.
Yes,
we're very happy.
Yeah, even like you guys, when I cannot do something, I saw that you guys call and said, did you see that? Did you fix that? It's really, it's like I'm going to say like a family working together. It's not easy business. This is because all these people with problems coming to us, we're trying to resolve these problems.
Yeah, their problems come to us, so we got to relax.
Yes,
they bring their problems onto us, but that's okay. That's the nature of the
make
the
us stronger.
Yes,
I love that. I love that. So my biggest takeaway from this conversation, everybody listening, take their advice and go listen to every episode, every YouTube video we have ever put out. Go listen to the entire back catalog of the Carrot Cast, all 400 some. I'm just kidding. But soak it all in. No, thank you guys again for your time. I appreciate you hopping on, and everybody watching, listening. If you got value out of this, share with a friend. Give us a positive review on Apple Podcasts if we deserved it. Go ahead, give us a rating. I would appreciate it very much. Helps us grow the podcast. So until next time, we will see you all later.